friends. Tonight is, I don't know what episode we're on. I've lost count. I think it's 21. We're joining you from the world famous Tom's Bar. Is the story of Tom's Bar appropriate for?
It's not. Yeah, it's not bad. We could tell it sometime.
Okay. So anyway, we just got a little introduction here to start with, and then we're going to bring our guests, Mike and Jen, in here with us. You guys good?
Yep.
Good? You look scared.
Oh, yes, I'm good.
You guys hear us okay?
I was trying to figure out how to turn y'all
Okay,
up.
all right.
Oh, there it is. Whoa.
Oh, I got you.
I got it.
So tonight's episode, we got Mike and Jen Perry. They're the owner-operators of the Stubborn Mule Sled. They do a lot of events down here with us locally and just in a big area around here. We'll get into that later, but that's who we have tonight.
And this is episode 21. I just looked.
Okay.
Yeah. So just some recaps of some stuff we've had going on. We had one of our local club pools at Ullen, and it was a really good time. Huey ended up winning his 10-horse class, which was his very first win. Was super proud of that. Made me really happy. I let Caleb Schultz and my Alice Chalmers, and he ended up winning the belt from who from?
From me. I had to give it up. So
Yeah. Cool. Little Caleb, he's been taking pictures. He had some pictures of him at Boomland with it. And I think he's on vacation. So hopefully he takes some good pictures on vacation with the belt. He seems to be
good. So
yeah, that made me really happy. Corey's fun. This weekend I will be pulling at Hager's Pool in Brandenburg, Kentucky. Mike Haswinkle and Randy Bell. Should be a lot of fun with Dad and my silly uncle. We've got a big pool coming up. Some stuff's kind of developed with that. Williamson County Fair. Corey, you want to talk a little on that?
yeah, so we have some fair pulls coming up this year. Mike, you guys are doing the Union County Fair for us. We're going to have you there again. I think this is our third year there, something like that. But the Williams County Fair is it's on a Friday night this year. We actually have a big week that year. We're doing the Thresherman show for the first time. That's going to be a big thing. I go back Friday to Williamson County, and there's about, I don't know, I think $1,300 worth of added money been thrown in. Going to be about $1,000 to be fought over with the V8s. I think it's $300 for the 1,200 open guys, and I think $200 for the heavy outlaws. So they're really wanting to put on a loud, kind of fast show. I'm the 618 president, and I put out a post. People understand that the fairs they're our customers. We charge a fee to do those pools. The money really helps us out with improvements for our club. So we're hoping to get out there. It's a day out for all pools. So we're really hoping to get some pullers there and put on a really big show.
Another shout out is for Robert Lear's pool, September 4th in Billings, Missouri. I'm pretty sure Mike and Jen are going to be the sled. Be running the sled down there for his pool. And all the GHR events are posted. You can find them on their Facebook page. Another thing, whenever I started this, I'm not looking for handouts or anything like that, but it's time for me to get a new laptop to keep progressing.
We got a new camera today, though.
We did.
We got that donated.
Yeah. I am working on getting a new laptop to try to help get this a little bit better for us. The price on that is going to be $1,000. If anybody wants to try to help out, it would be greatly appreciated. I'm going to post Sam's Venmo and my PayPal on the podcast page on Facebook. I don't whatever anyone could do would really help. I'm not getting anything from this. I've already spent several $100s getting some subscriptions to the different platforms to do this. So if anyone wants help, that'd be appreciated. I'm not looking for a handout necessarily, but kind of looking for a little help to keep it going and keep it improving.
And if you want to send us any swag to wear while we're on here, we'd be happy to wear it for you.
Absolutely.
I think some new Stubborn Mule shirts would be nice.
Yeah.
Guys, all right, we got Mike and Jen here tonight. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves, and we'll get into some icebreaker questions we usually like to ask just to kind of lighten the mood and get a few laughs before we get into the serious stuff.
Yeah, I'm Mike Perry, and I'm the sled driver. And this is Jen. She's the one behind the scenes. Does all the
Paperwork.
stuff that I can't do.
Yeah, we've been married 23 years. Empty nesters now. And grandparents. So
Does it feel 23 minutes, Jen?
23 years, minutes?
Jen,
Oh,
Jen
yes.
does it feel like 23 minutes? You have to say yes, and then you say, yeah, underwater.
Yes. I'm not good at this. Here goes our dog.
And where are you guys from?
Oh, yeah. Clark.
Clark, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Clark, Missouri. Okay. And that's around the Springfield area, or?
Oh, no.
No, we're 20 miles north of Columbia.
In south of Moberly.
We're like central Missouri.
Columbia. Okay. I couldn't remember exactly. Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
I grew up in
Corey,
Columbia
where's
and
your
then moved
gloves?
here.
Okay. My what?
Your gloves.
My gloves.
Yeah, you were talking about swag for the show.
Oh, I forgot those. I should have ordered those for Mike. Yeah, that'd have been funny. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna ask you guys a few icebreaker questions, and you guys answer them however you want. But this will kind of get it going. But the first one we have is, have you guys ever gotten super lost?
Oh, a couple times.
Who's
Mostly it's
responsible
after.
for direction?
Oh,
After.
directions.
Yeah, you had a pretty bad experience one last year, didn't you? Trailer
Yeah.
breaking and a couple things.
Well, at least that was
Yeah, I
close to
remember
home.
that.
Yeah, that was close to home. After. That was still after.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pulled into a restaurant and the
So
axle broke on the trailer. So that wasn't very fun.
Yeah.
And then we went to
Oh goodness.
get another trailer and load the sled on another trailer. And then the drive shaft on the sled broke. You know, it was just that was just a bad day, but it all worked out.
Yeah. Do you do most of the driving, Mike?
Yeah, she ain't
all
doing that. She does all the sleeping.
Yeah.
Well, that was it. We actually had a fan question. Does Jen snore while Mike drives?
I always got the window down though.
Yeah.
She's always
Something
underneath
wrong
the
with
blanket, head underneath the blanket and everything.
Yeah, because it gets cold. Because he likes the AC on full blast and the windows down.
Gotta stay awake somehow.
That's which celebrity do you guys think?
Mr. Clean.
I was gonna say Michael Chiklis, but that's Mr. Clean's pretty good.
And then I don't know what I look like.
No,
I don't look like one.
she just looks like Jen.
All right. She's
my
she's
celebrity.
a celebrity in herself as it is. Yeah.
She's a local
Yeah.
celebrity around here. So if you guys died and went to hell, what song would be played on loop to punish you?
Oh.
Dora, the Explorer.
Baby Shark.
Okay. That's pretty.
Yes, our daughter loves Dora, and he was punished. So that's why he said.
This one's a two.
What's that? I didn't
This one's
hear
kind of this one could be a two-part, but I said this one's kind of a question. What's your biggest pet peeve? And I'm asking you guys this to tell you a story about me. I'm going to tell myself a little bit, but what's your biggest pet peeve? And if you could eliminate any one food so nobody could eat it, what would you? Dylan knows where I'm going with this.
We ain't getting no sponsorships.
Biggest
from
pet
Roll
peeve
King.
No, we're not.
Him or just ever?
Just in general.
I can't stand somebody smacking when they chew. For some reason.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it gets to me.
Mike, what food would you get rid of if you get rid of one?
I can't.
Sushi.
Oh, you like it though.
Sushi? Oh, okay. All right.
It's not
Well,
like
I asked that question. I asked that question that way because I can't stand popcorn, and it absolutely disgusts me in the Rule King, and everybody's eating and they're licking their fingers and they're touching everything, and they got their dog. It's disgusting. It's the nastiest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I absolutely hate going into Rule King or a store that has popcorn. So.
Yeah.
You got
I
any,
love
Dylan?
popcorn.
Oh, I don't have any icebreakers today.
This one was sent in specifically for Mike. It says, what was the name of your favorite stuffed animal when you were a kid?
The Hulk.
The Hulk. You
Was
had
it
a
the
Hulk
Hulk?
stuffed animal?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Do you guys remember those wrestling buddies?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to a certain
I
extent.
had some of those too. Yeah, mine was Littlefoot, the dinosaur. So there I'm telling myself again. So
My childhood was Tiny Bear.
tiny
It
bear,
was just a little teddy
just a
bear.
little teddy bear. Oh,
That's fine.
so guys, tell us a little bit about what you do for work. What's that?
I said we'll have
Oh,
to
we had
find
a
a
little
little
delay
foot
there.
for you. Yeah.
Oh no, that's all.
I guess the name of your new actor.
Oh yeah,
Your
name
new
of my-
twin,
my new-
Littlefoot,
yeah. No, we're not doing that.
big crank.
Good Lord, Dylan. So tell us a little bit about what you guys do outside the pulling world. What do you guys do for work and stuff like that?
I'm kind of a trash man. I do a little bit of everything. Well, actually, within the last 2 months or whatever, I've been having to, I guess they call me the operations manager now at work, but it's just, I'm just pretty much doing everything I can to relieve the boss because he's wanting to retire and he's kind of putting it all in my hands right now. So it's kind of where I'm at the moment.
Okay.
Taking a lot of time. I didn't even look at the sled yet since the last time I pulled it. and we got a full Saturday.
Oh,
And Jim?
And I am a child care provider in the home. And so I watch kids from newborns all the way up till 8 or whatever.
Yeah, so her saying we're empty nesters ain't true.
Yeah.
I come
guess
home,
so.
there's like 9 kids in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get to send them home.
Yes. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, they always come back though.
Gotcha. So, what do you guys like to do outside of the pull and sled and whatever? What are your hobbies or interests?
Nothing really. Sleep.
We like to watch a lot of movies.
Sleep.
And yeah. There for a while.
what are
watching
some
our
good
kids.
movies? This place sucks.
I ain't gonna say what I'm watching now because you all make fun of me.
Yeah, you will.
Well, we want to know.
Yeah, you gotta say it
Me
now.
and Sam can never find movies.
I'm stuck on Grey's Anatomy
What's
right
what?
now.
Oh no. That's funny. So something we found doing this, I've been here for a few episodes, but we found that tractor pulling people, and I know you guys, I'll let you talk about that in a minute, have a background in tractor pulling before the sled, but we've kind of found somebody involved in this has like another one-off hobby. Or something they like to collect, or something they're really into. It could be anything. But what would you guys like? What would you guys say like that people might look at you and go, "Wow, that's kind of different,"
I don't have nothing.
He doesn't have a hobby. No, I used to scrapbook,
Just
and I
sleeping.
loved.
You don't like play Legos or anything?
No.
No, he doesn't. Our son does, though.
No puzzles?
No.
No.
Jen, you got anything you like to do?
Yes, I love playing board games. That is something I like to do. We
Okay.
haven't done that.
Board games, all right.
Yeah. We used to do that a lot, and I don't know. We got busy, I guess.
Yeah, it happens. So tell us a little bit about you guys' history in garden tractor pulling. I mean, obviously you're one of the more famous sleds for garden tractor pulling, and a lot of people know your name. And but you guys started, I believe, if I'm wrong, but you guys started as pullers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Him and the kids. Our son was 3 years old, and he's 20,
Okay.
21 now.
But
Okay.
way
What
back
did
in the day,
What did you guys?
or shortly after we met,
Oh yeah, that's his.
my uncle, he worked at Danes with me, and he's like, we were talking about what we was going to do for the weekend. He's like, we can go to the races, or I've never even heard of garden tractors before, and I always enjoyed watching the big boys pull. And I'm like, he's like, there's this pull in Perry, Missouri, we can go watch. He's like, I'll go with you if you want to go watch it. So I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Let's go. So we went and watched it, and I was hooked right then and there, because I'm like, hey, I love watching the big boys and all that, and I know I can't afford that, but I can somewhat afford this. So one day I come home to Jen, and I said, hey, I got this pulling tractor I want to go look at. So she didn't know what to expect.
I was thinking of an antique.
Yeah, she was thinking an antique tractor or something like that. And she goes with me, looks at it. This is this little Sears belt drive, tractor that was already set up for pulling and stuff. She's like, what? So then that escalated for about a year or so. I had like this little bitty yellow Nissan Frontier, and we pulled it to all the pulls, and had a little bitty single axle trailer or whatever we pulled the tractor in. Yeah, we had to look like a bunch of stinking hay rigs.
Hillbillies, rednecks, whatever.
But then after that, I ended up finding a cub, a 10-horse cub. And then some of my buddies there out of Centralia, they helped me build it up and everything, and that ended up being called Mac Attack. So I called it Mac Attack, and had a Mac Bulldog in front of it, because that's the trash trucks that we drive are Mac trucks. So, and then we built one for my boy, and it was called Pup Attack. And then my daughter had one, and it was called
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
Because she's the beauty and the tractor was the beast.
Oh,
And I had one
like
called
that.
Deep Pockets. And I had one called Empty Pockets.
Was that your 30 cube?
What's that? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, I
ended
knew
up
that.
doing the sled stuff. My brother at that time was following us around, and he would pull the sled to the pulls, and we would all go and stuff. And then it got to where he wasn't going no more, so I had to choose to either do the sled or stay with tractors, and I took the sled.
Okay.
Here's, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, no,
You can't see
you
nothing.
can't see it.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
No.
Yep.
But we used to have a lot of fun.
Have you ever pulled?
Just that once in Lebanon, I believe, wasn't it? Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah.
Wherever it was that we did the
Mississippi.
powder puff pullers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys have a best memory from pulling?
One, and I'm looking at the pictures now, but I wish I could share them. But Mike pulled in Madison, Missouri, and he turned the pull down, and I was like, dude, you should have kept it. And sure enough, he would have gotten first place if he would have kept the hook. And I've got pictures of his face like, oh man, I should have kept that. But
I've been
most
there
of all
before.
is meeting all the families and stuff, and then seeing the kids grow up, and I don't know, it's just really neat, and meeting y'all, and I don't know, just building that family camaraderie.
I know time flies big time. We was at
We're always happy.
a pull one time, and I can't remember the name of the tractor. I think it was like Super Cub or something like that. But anyways, it's the Brackens, Doug Bracken and them. And I seen the little boy's tractor, and he was like 3 years old when he first started pulling. And I seen his tractor come to a pull, and I'm sitting there looking for some reason, 20 years later, I'm looking for this little boy, not even thinking nothing about it. I'm like, where's what was his name? Cooper. I said, Doug was there, and I said, where's Cooper at? And he pointed over, and he was like 250 pounds. Wow. That was just crazy. That was an eye-opening moment. That was just like,
we're getting old.
You're getting old, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you guys, we started, I don't know what, maybe about 3 years ago working together, and you guys have done a lot of events over here, and we love having you guys over here, and it's just always a good time when we do stuff together, and we're working together now for the DuQuoin pool, and that turned out to be a big thing this year, and we got you guys coming for a couple events, and then we're going to do our big end of the year pool here. We're hoping to do the same thing like a DuQuoin with the heads, and tag team that and knock it out, because that's a big it's usually our biggest event of the year, just because we're kind of usually the last outdoor event around here. So we're looking real forward to that, and Jen and Stacy do just a hell of a job together keeping everything going, and we've made some growing steps this year together with the TVs and the radios and just all the stuff. And there's a lot goes on behind the scenes people don't know about. And, as you guys are promoters, and sled operators, and we're a club, we really have to work together. And, but I've always just really loved it anytime you guys are over here, and it just feels like it just goes, so good. And, it takes a lot of pressure off us too, having to have the sled too. And, I know you guys can't be here all the time, and, and people have to understand it costs a lot of money to put on events. And, but we try to have you guys over here as much as possible. And, we try to work our schedules out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to you guys coming over for a few this year.
Yeah, that's something I love about going down south is, and a few of them I have up north here and stuff, but down south, I can go down there with the sled, and that's all I am. I ain't got to worry about nothing else. That's just, to me, that's just awesome. But then like some of the pulls we do around here, if you want to say I'm kind of the promoter of the pull, I got to do the classes, you got to do this and that. and everything, and it just gets overwhelming, at times.
Yeah.
Having so much on the plate.
Yeah, so we enjoy coming down there.
Yeah, that's like it's a long drive, but it's definitely well worth it.
Mm-hmm. We definitely do. Wish we could be there more. Honestly.
Yeah, we do too. It takes a lot off our plate when you guys are there, because that's just one thing we don't have to worry about. And then Jen's obviously got her, she's got a grasp on it and runs the administrative side. And that's, Stacy does us. Kyler helps her out. But when we get you guys together, it's like a little super team. It just goes so much smoother. So, like I said, we really wish we could work more with you guys. But, obviously everything costs money, and, and then you guys got schedules and we got schedules, and it is what it is. But we definitely try to work together as much as possible. You still my marker?
Good.
Oh, go ahead, Dylan.
Where are you guys want to eat after a pull? Where are you like?
Well, normally about IHOP.
Waffle House has been a big
Waffle House
one.
or IHOP.
Interesting people at that time.
Understand.
And I normally
one time
I normally go in these places looking all kinds of crazy because
Dirty.
I've been in the sled the whole time, so I got dirt in my nose and ears. So they're probably looking at me the same way, like, look at this hay rake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this homeless guy doing with this lovely lady?
Yeah,
right.
I know, I look pretty well.
One time after the pool, you guys came here and we cooked on the boat and went out. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, that was amazing. Thank you, by the way. That was
that
so
was
relaxing.
And I was kind of shocked on how I felt that day, honestly, because that was the time when we had the state fair on Thursday, then Lawrence, Kansas on Friday, Saturday. Then we had to be at Anna on Sunday. And then we ended up, spending, after the pool, went to Corey's and got on the pontoon and rode around and stuff. And I was like, I figured I'd be knocked out, but I wasn't, I was like, hey, this is all right. Then we got up early that next morning and went to town.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, you guys were up and gone before I ever woke up. So
that's how Mike rolls. This is why I sleep.
So, Mike, we have a lot of people ask us as pullers, and I'm sure you've got it before, or I'm sure with what you guys do, people ask you. But I know a lot of people want to know, and I know a lot of the watchers they understand how it does. But for some of the people that maybe don't, or if this episode gets out to some newer pullers, can you kind of give us just a pretty brief rundown on how a pulling sled actually works?
It's you, kid.
Yeah. Well, I got two different transmissions. So the box will top out anywhere from 65 feet all the way to 565 feet,
Okay.
And I have some dolly wheels that that no other sled has, because my sled's actually, it's really heavy, it's heavier than most. So on the front end anyway, so we had to put the dolly wheels on it to counterbalance it. And the dolly wheels is like, for instance, like the kids class or something, or like even on like a stock 16 or something. 9 times out of 10, I'll have the sled set at 555 feet. So and I can adjust the setting on the dolly wheels when they come up with this switch that I can move forwards and backwards. So if I have that switch set right in the center of the sled, math says that's 250 feet, because that's half of 555 pretty much. So, that's whenever when the box goes up and hits that switch, it causes the dolly wheels to come up a little bit. And then that's what that I use in a way as grousers for the smaller tractors, because if it wasn't for them, you set at 555 feet, it's just going to keep. They're going to keep going. You know, you're not going to stop them.
Okay.
So that's what we use there. Well, on the bigger tractors, and like the mid tractors and stuff like the 30 cubes and stock altereds and the Pro V's and all them hotter ones like that. Most of the time, I'll just leave the dolly wheels down the whole time, and then at that time, I'm using. I'll have it set like 305 feet or however long the track is, and I'll have when the box goes up and hits the levers on the front of the sled, then it throws grousers in the ground, and it lifts the back of the sled up. You know, because it has two different functions. There is what it does, and it puts everything on the pan at that time. And but other than that, I mean, it has a lever that goes up and it hits also that disengages the. I don't know how it works because it's a different system that's on my sled. It's not a clutch, but it's like a rear end, so it like causes the freewheel. However that works, but it'd be the same as disengaging something. So you have to have that lever to disengage the system, or it's going to break your chains or break something. Something's going to give.
I gotcha.
That's probably like an open diff. Whenever it gets up there, it triggers it.
And I say it has a brake up there that it hits, and it pulls in on that brake, and then it causes it to slip or whatever. So that, I mean, just put it in drive or reverse, or well, that's in neutral when they're pulling, but then I just put it in reverse and hammer down and get ready for the next one.
What motor's in your sled?
2.3 Ford.
Okay.
That's what we went to this year, and it's made a big difference.
He had some other mess, but it works really well.
Yeah, it's a little Chevy motor, I think, but going to the automotive engine has really helped a lot. Just with the speed, because it only had like a V twin on it.
What's so crazy about it is the other sled I used to run all the time. It was a really good sled, but it was slow. It just had a V twin engine on it, and you get on a soft track, it would hardly pull itself. You'd have to put it in low gear for it to pull itself because it had a high low, and then it was really slow. I mean, you could crawl faster and it would move backwards. And that was my only thing I hated about that sled, the whole time I ran it. But they wouldn't allow nothing to be done with it and stuff. So, and then I got out of that sled. And long story short, it's a long story, but one of my buddies was putting on a pull in King City. So I called him one day and wanted to know if he needed help. It was during COVID. Wanted to know if he needed help. And he said, yeah, I'd love for you to come. You can help the guy bring in the sled, and your wife can help my wife do the books and stuff. I said, all right. I said, we'll be there. So I get there early and all that, like normal, and the sled guy pulls up there, and I'll go over there to him, and it was Paul Crook, and I didn't know him at all. And I went up there to him and said, hey, I'm supposed to help you with the sled today. And the year before that, at the state fair, he come up to me in the sled and just said hi, and it was like, I was like, hey, what's up, man? And the tractor started taking off. So I'm like, hey, bye. And then when it come to that pull, I went up there to him and said, I'm supposed to help you. And he's like, Doug said somebody was coming, but didn't know it was going to be you. He's like, you're just going to run it for me. I said, well, I don't know nothing about the sled, but I can figure it out real quick. And so long story short, by the time the night was over with, Paul told me to take the sled, keep it at my house, go make him some money with it. Then a couple of years went by, then he wanted me to buy it. I'm like, man, I can't afford that. I said, he's like, just do what you're doing now. He's like, you can pay me payments, no interest. I'm like, awesome. So we did that. Now I got it paid for. So, Paul's been really awesome to me. He's like he's just been a blessing. He'd helped me build these new skills I got now, for the mini trucks and stuff. And
Yeah.
he's just an old retired farmer that loves garden tractor pulling. He has,
I got
I don't know, I'm guessing he probably has 9 of them or so.
Yeah, and his grandson does it with him, which is really cool to watch too.
Yeah.
That's another thing I like about tractor pulling is families pulling together.
Yeah.
And then Paul always ran the white mule, which was an antique sled. And when when the stubborn mule come up for sale, it wasn't a stubborn mule or nothing at that time. It was just a sled. But when it come up for sale, Paul went and bought it. He bought it and the roller and all kinds of the club shut down, so he went and bought the stuff. And it's sitting in his shop or his barn or whatever for like 2 years, because he was kind of scared of it, because he's used to antique stuff. He wasn't really about, going fast. And, then it all come about and stuff. And me and him was talking about it. He's like, I don't know why I bought it. I just bought it, And, I was just like, well, God had a plan, So it all made it circle, and I ended up with it. And like when I was getting what I was getting to is that sled was so slow, and then when I got in this sled and it was like so fast, I'm like, oh my, I was just like, this is amazing.
Well, and he wanted to travel a lot more and get to know more people.
Yeah. I always wanted to travel and stuff. And when I was with that other sled, I was just stuck in central Missouri. An hour and a half away was a long ways. Now,
Right.
4 hours, let's go. 5 hours, I don't care. Let's go. It don't matter.
Yeah. Well, as you mentioned your new scales and the mini trucks have kind of came out in the last, year or whatever I've been dealing with you. We've had them at a couple events and we really enjoy those. Those are really cool. So that's something coming for this year for people that don't know. You've got a new set of scales that's going to easily fit pretty much anything.
Oh yeah. We used to be able to set them off or whatever, just with the crane or whatever now. And now I don't know, they're probably 1,500 pounds now is what they weigh. Which I know your old scales are probably even heavier than that.
Ours are heavy, yeah.
Not right there close to it.
Yeah, but that's good though. We can easily we can pretty much fit anything, and like I said, the big end of year pull coming up. That kind of stuff. We'd love to have the trucks there. I'll get with you about that. Maybe they can come down.
They'll be there.
But I thought it was really cool up at DuQuoin. We day 2 we tried both sleds and. We were drag racing back and forth, me and you on the sled, and both of them moving fast. It was actually just a lot of fun. I mean, we blast the tractor off, and it was as soon as it was safe, the other one was going, and there was times we were coming back at the same time and racing, and it was a lot of fun. It was organized chaos, is all I can say. But,
there you go.
Yeah. So that's kind of what we're hoping to do at the end of the year. So I know I hadn't talked to you a whole lot about it, but I think with our track, we're going to kind of try to angle the sleds in the corner that we start in, and blast one off, and then when you clear, take another one off, and then basically when one's done, one's ready. So that's kind of what I hope for, and try to get through a couple hundred hooks in a decent amount of time, but just keep it moving.
Yep.
What do you guys like most about pulling, just in general? I think you guys kind of touched on the family stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's impossible to do, but me as a sled driver is I put a lot of work into this stuff and all that, and it just making people happy. I guess in a short term, it just. I like making people happy and, letting them letting them have fun, So
He
other
doesn't.
than that, I really don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't like to turn people away. We were a part of something that did, and it's just it's not easy to see, and yeah,
Right.
watching
Yeah,
him
and
do
that's
that with it. I mean, he does it.
something that's hard. Putting on events is having something everybody can fit in. And I know we try to, if some guys will call ahead of time, well, hey, I'll make you a class. We'll deal with it, and I know when we do events together, like with DuCoin or we helped y'all out at Lebanon one time, just little things like that. We have to work together because it's hard. It is hard to make everybody happy, but at the same time, you want everybody that's coming to be able to, to pull too. So it's, it's
one
hard.
One thing I hear all the time is, and I see it quite often. I'm not going to name none of the tracks or nothing, but people will come because they'll have competition. There's a lot of competition there, because it's just a pull that has just been established for that. But to me, the track ain't really all that amazing. And then you get like a track that's just an amazing track, an amazing place, and people don't come and all that because they don't have competition. Well, if everybody would come, it'd be competition, with a good track. It just, that's why people calls me all the time. How many tractors are going to be there with the certain class or whatever? I have no clue. I don't call people, I don't want to be mean, but I don't bother people. I don't call them and say, hey, are you coming? If you come, you come, the only pools that I'll really stand up for, and I will tell some people about, is the pools that I know are good tracks. But I'm never going to ask anybody to come to a pool where it's a bad track. It's just, that ain't going to happen. Me as a sled driver will go. That's what pays my bills.
Sure.
But I'm not gonna promote a bad track.
Yeah, I get it. Well, with that said, what is your favorite track to do?
My favorite track. Oh, if it's worked over good, and my two most favorite events is probably Shelby and Licking, like Shelby, Missouri, and Licking, Missouri. But that's because we're pulling
Olin, Illinois.
Yeah, well, I just like.
Thanks, Jen.
But that's just because because we're pulling beside big boys. There's a big crowd. Licking is just, it's just amazing. That place is an awesome track, and the audience is out of this world. They got all these cars parked on it's like a hillside kind of where all the cars park, and a lot of them just sit in the back of their trucks and stuff, because it kind of staggers them up, and they just sit back there. And the announcer, he's a hoot.
Man.
Announcers go a long way.
He's a DJ actually, and he gets the crowd involved. It's awesome.
But,
that's neat. That's neat.
As far as audience wise and entertainment or whatever, those are my two favorite. And then as far as personal favorite, not counting the audience and stuff like that, my two would be Owen and Lawrence, Kansas. I like, Gil, he really does an amazing job, and you guys do an amazing job.
There's a lot of, you can tell you guys definitely put more effort into it. Not saying that the other people don't, they do, obviously, but you guys just do a little extra. You can tell.
Oh, the tractor pullers,
Yeah.
And Gil's a tractor puller, he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a hard job. It's very rewarding and
frustrating at the same
very
time.
frustrating at the same time. And but a lot of things,
right?
Yeah, like anything. But you know,
Well,
one
even-
big thing
even
we got from you guys were
Even like
ahead,
with you guys when we went to what was that first pull that we had before y'all moved to Owen, Illinois,
I
where
can
the track
picture it.
sucked real bad.
We were trying to
Side-
get back and slack.
I tell you what,
Yeah, we
that
tried
track
that.
was terrible. But I tell you what, you
Yeah, it
guys
was
still
awful.
had fun. You know, there was no bickering,
Yeah.
no nothing. I had no weight in the sled, no nothing, you know. And y'all had this little
yeah.
2-foot path you had to go down to get past the one hole, but you guys had fun, you know. I mean, that's what it's all about, no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, Corey, your exact words were same for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, it's just there to have fun.
Yeah, and that's something, you know, we've tried to take all the constructive criticism we can. The last few pulls we've had, I think our track's been pretty good, and
It keeps getting better.
yeah, we're learning a lot, and we've turned it over real deep, and that's helped a lot, and just little things here and there. And then where I was going with that is you know, the frustration side from like the board members or myself, Stacy, you know, go into the Google stuff that, you know, you guys came up with, learning that system. Thanks, Jen, for teaching that to Stacy. And we get the TVs. That's taken a lot of just, you know, just making it flow and people know what's going on. And, you know, we tried it together up at Duquil, and, you know, we learned, you know, having the class coming up and the class out there, just people, it's easier to do than trying to find a clipboard and flip through it or ask somebody. And people like to see the distances pop up at the same time. Dylan pulls NQS. I'm in the process of building one if it ever gets done. Just a time and money thing, but I go with him to a lot of them and help him vend. And that's one thing there is the TVs. It's constant. You know, everybody knows what's going on, and we weren't necessarily trying to turn it into that or try to be that. We noticed that was something that worked, and it's relatively unaffordable. You know, it's not expensive to do, and it helps so much. You know, and so thank you guys for doing that. And I think it's something really good. And all of our stuff is interoperable now. Like we bought the same radios you guys got, so we'll have 10 radios next time. So
Yeah, them radios are amazing.
Yeah, it works. So, but I'm gonna talk crap to you, Mike. Though, if I'm on the sled, we're gonna race. So I think I might be able to beat you now.
Well, I mean, you only as fast as the driver.
We got 50 shot of nitrous that says otherwise.
There you go.
That's right.
So, Mike, what's your favorite class to run the sled on, and why?
That's a good question.
The
kids, because he cried.
Yeah, the kids classes. I mean, it's not as exciting, I guess, in a way. But the kids class will really get me going.
Yeah.
There's been times where I've cried. You know, the kid be pulling down through there and the audience start hooting and hollering. You know, even Jeffrey there at DuQuoin. You know, I watch that video over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You know, and I get teary-eyed every time I watch it, you know. And I show that video to a lot of people.
He does.
It's just,
yeah.
You know, but as far as the blood flowing, it'd be either the V8 minis or the mini trucks. You know, they're just,
I can see that.
They're just wicked.
Which one made your clipboard fly?
Yeah,
that was
What was that?
They're not Bell.
We went to Bell, Missouri this year.
The track was kind of wet just a little bit, so it got, when the grousers hit, the ground would like roll a little bit, cause the sled to like bounce real hard. And man, I had my like clipboard and weights and everything fell off the sled that day.
Yard sale.
You know, I was just like, wow, you know.
Yeah, I know. I'll run a sled. You get to like our open class that has diesels and Pro Vs and stuff like that. It's like, okay, wake up, and then you get on them Outlaws or them V8s, and it can be a wild ride. I mean, it's
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I'm not scared. I'm not scared of it or anything like that. But and something people don't understand, and I'm gonna say it, but I think you can agree and elaborate on it as you want. But operating a sled it's not all fun and games. I mean, it's a fun thing, but you got to develop a system. You're gonna miss a distance. You're gonna miss, putting the weight box in gear, and that could be dangerous. And you have to stay on your toes to be able to kill a tractor, step on the brakes, make decisions like really fast. And it's not an easy job, is what I'm trying to say. And Mike's probably, I mean, he's the best I've ever seen at it. And it's just, I feel very, very confident when Mike's in his sleds there. I'm like, oh, that part's handled, because I get on there and I'm like, crap, I forgot to reset the distance. And, I've had kids making a first place pull, and I'm like, I had to stop them because I didn't reset the thing, and that's something I've really had to learn. We've got about 3, maybe 4 guys in our club that run the sled consistently, and we've dummy proofed it as much as we can, and we've all come up with kind of a system that works, and we've done good this year about not doing that, but there's a lot to it, so. You want to expand on that, Mike, if you have anything?
Oh, I agree with everything you said. For instance, at my Kansas City indoor pull, Bodie Lear was pulling down through there, and it happened just so quick. I mean, I didn't roll over him or nothing, but his tractor just all of a sudden just flipped over, on its side, and.
Yeah.
A lot of the times I can almost see it coming before it happens, so I know to get ready. But like my first instinct is brakes. I mean, the last thing I want to do is kill that tractor, because that's just going to cause me to run over you. So my foot is the first thing that goes. Right. But when he flipped over and all that, I mean, the pullers are family, man. I mean, I actually had to take a minute and regroup, and I mean, I was tore up pretty bad over that. I mean, I was like, man, that really could have been something bad.
And he's only 15, 16, but he's been pulling like the NQS series and stuff for a long time, so he's kind of one that you trust as a driver. So I think that's why it was so surprising.
Yeah, anything can definitely happen, and I think, Mike, you've even said it before too, and I've had it happen. You can feel stuff on that sled that you wouldn't think you could. You can feel a ring gear break, an axle. You can feel clutch going. I mean, you can feel things, and it's and like you said, you feel that, and you kind of get ready, and or you're watching something going fast, and you're like, this ain't going good. Like, I need to get ready. And like you said, it's the main thing is we all want to have fun, but we don't want anybody to get hurt. And had a pretty wild ride on our sled. First year. I mean, just learning the sled, forgot to put the box in gear, and Cody Floyd took off on a Pro Twin, and he looked back and saw that box wasn't coming, and I didn't see it. And about the time I saw it, I start reaching for brakes, and Cody was a real good driver, and he took it off. We had a sand pile down there, and he just buried it in the sand pile, and before I could get him stopped. And but that was the person, like you said, I really trust his driving, and I'm glad that was the scenario instead of somebody else. But I learned a lot from that experience, and it was like, you need to pay more attention because somebody could get hurt bad. I mean, I had a tie rod break at Carmike Pool with you, and when it broke and went into the edge, I mean, the sled hit me kind of hard, and it hit hard enough it bit wheelie bars and stuff like that. I mean, just imagine going full blast and something like you said happening. So, it's just trying to say there's a lot more to it than just sitting on the back in a seat and smiling and laughing. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, you see these videos of stuff happening, you know, mainly with the big boys. And
Right.
they're like, you know, why didn't he hit the brakes, or why didn't he kill the kill switch, or something like that? Well, they don't even know what they're talking about, you know. They're just
Sure.
it's split second decisions, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just like when they're in
You got a
Lebanon,
question?
Jeff Peterson went flying down through there on that indoor pole
Yeah.
with that V8 mini rod. And I seen him go to the right or whatever, like he's going towards the audience. And right then and there, I already knew, you know, my foot was already on the brake before he even like got within like 6 inches of out of bounds. I mean, I already knew something bad was going to happen, and I just slammed on the brakes. You know, and if anybody's going to get mad at me for doing that, I'm sorry. You know, it's safety's first.
No, and we've had a couple scenarios where we've hit brakes or kill switches on people and turned around, and then, you know, I just got off the sled. I'm like, hey, here's what happened. And I did, you know, one instance was we saw something come apart on the sled and we didn't want it to break. And another was, I don't even remember what it was, but, you know, we stopped them because there was a safety concern. And, you know, or like, hey, for example, like Mike, if like you got a guy and his tractor catches on fire hooked to your sled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who that is, but
I've had that happen.
Yeah.
I was in the zone, man. I was in the zone. I didn't see it.
I also had one instance
did.
in Lebanon, which, you know, that's a fairly short track, you know, 180, 200 foot about what you're getting. And I had the mini rod, it was a 4-cylinder mini rod, hooked to me before the pull, just so I could really have a grasp of what was going on. And so he did and all that, and it all went good and stuff. So this other tractor come up the hook, and he turned his pull down because he couldn't start or something. And then this really awesome tractor come up and hooked, was the next hook. And I mean, he was getting like half track, and he was already like 27 mile an hour, I think it was, in that small area. And I got wigging out, you know, and I didn't really realize my foot was, I already had my foot up there kind of on the brake, but I didn't really realize that it was pushing down as much as it was. You know, I didn't think I was pushing at all, but I guess I was. Well, the way my sled's set up, when the box goes up all the way, it picks me up off the back, you know, just a little bit. So if your foot's on the brake at all, your tires are going to slide. And then that causes the distance to quit reading. Well, after that 4-cylinder is one of the best in the country. It really is. And but they always get mad too if you reset the sled or something. So I was like, well, I'm just going to let everything roll, and maybe it all works out where he gets first place anyways. Well, the next one went, and he went past him. Well, it pretty much stopped at the same place, but he was like 20 feet more, you know, on the distance. And I seen the guy come to me and stuff, and I'm like, okay, here we go, you know. And he started mouthing, there's something wrong with your sled. And I'm like, no, it ain't the sled, it's me. You know, I'm the one that did that. And I told him, I said, I'm going to fix it. And then he's like, oh, everybody's going to be mad and stuff. I said, no. I said, it's going to be just fine. You know, so I called the whole group up there and said, hey, we're redoing the class, you know, and, you know, the ones that's already pulled, they was actually okay. I didn't rehook them because I didn't have my foot on the brake. Because once he went, I already knew I already had everybody else. And then he come back and ended up hooking again, and he ended up winning the class anyways. But that was a lot of sad moments that night.
Yeah.
But, you know, 29 mile an hour or 27, whatever it was, in a 180 foot track, and he was already doing it at probably 125 feet. That's booking.
Yeah. No, and that's something people just got to understand. As a sled operator, your priority is you want everybody to have an equal fair hook, but at the same time, you got to make split second decisions. And we're all people, and sometimes we make mistakes, or we don't do it exactly the way it should have been, or whatever it is. But we're gonna figure out a way to make it right and fair to everybody.
Yep.
So that brings another fan question. How much money does it cost to get you to hit brakes on a competitor?
Oh, that's just secret.
I just wanted to know because I need to know so I can save up to have you do it for Mickey Brown. I need to beat him once finally. So
yeah. Well, Mickey pays pretty good money to get on the track too, though. So you got to pay more than what he
or leave the wheels down for me. Something might help me out here, bud. So you got it. Okay. What advice do you guys have for clubs or venues, events, anything that's going to have you come as the sled? Like, what are some expectations? Like, what? Just kind of give us a one over what you guys kind of expect or like to see, or what could improve. I mean, I don't know really what the question is, but just. If I was a guy going to put on a pool for the first time and I booked you to come and, I booked you for the sled, what could I expect? So,
well, what I tell all the places, and some places want to throw money out there. They want to be like, how much money do we need to add to get this class there? And I tell them, who knows, I said the main thing is, I said money will get them, but a good track will keep them. You throw all the money out there, and if it's a junk track, people ain't gonna tear up their $15,000-$20,000 machines to win,
$10,
$300 even, or $400, on a really good payout. I mean, so I'd really stress the issue. If y'all want to keep having this, we need the track. We got to have a good place.
Yeah.
Okay.
And good concessions.
So good track and
to be able to have
good concessions. Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, that goes a long ways.
Yeah.
And actually stay open until the pool's done.
Well,
we get that happen quite a bit too, where the pool's not even done yet, and they're closing down 2 hours before it starts or it ends, and the pullers are like, what do we do now?
Because they want to.
Well, a lot of places. Yeah, absolutely. And just like at our track, I mean, we don't have a lot in the city that we pull. I mean, the city's great to us, and we couldn't ask for better. But there's just not anything really there. There's one restaurant, but it's too far. I mean, you'd have to drive, and there is a gas station you could walk to. So that's something we try to have is the vendors there. But a lot of places you go, you're just kind of stuck there, till you guys. But pullers too. I mean, you're stuck till it's over with, and then you may still have a 30-minute to an hour drive before you hit a decent sized town. And a lot of times it's late at night and nothing's open, and so that's a real good one, Jen. That's something. Yeah, obviously.
And some of the places I go to, they'll actually bring me stuff to eat and all that. They bring it out to all their help. That's out there on the track and stuff. They'll bring them food and drinks and stuff. And
they would bring me something to drink, even just randomly, or offer it, or ask if we need something, or the hospitality of the place makes a huge difference too of who's putting on the pool.
And I get that quite a bit with the most pullers anyways, as far as drinks and stuff, they'll many a times in the night, pullers will come to me and, hey, do you need a water? Or, they'll bring me a water or whatever they, got and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That means a lot.
We just need a built-in cooler.
Well, and all tractor pulls have the potential of being hot. But we run a lot of them in the summer, and it's real. And as you know, being on that engine heat and that it's hot.
Oh
and you're it gets real hot, and you need to stay up with it. Hey Jen, I got something for you.
Okay.
Somebody wants to say hi to you.
Oh,
I got
hi.
somebody wants to
Must be Stacy.
say hi to you, Jen.
Okay. Hey. Hey, girl. Hey.
She's been sitting
One of the
here
hottest
judging the
pulls I ever
whole time.
done was there. I think it was last year. Pretty sure it was last year there at Anna. Man, that was hot.
Oh, yeah,
Anna was
sled.
awful.
Yeah.
That sled was, you touch any part of that sled, it was burning.
Oh, it was awful.
And Daryl got in it to give me a break for a little bit, and he couldn't even touch the steering wheel. He had to put gloves on. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, I couldn't hardly hit the handles and all that to move stuff. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, that's hot. Well, something we done this year, and it was kind of a combination between our experience with that, and then just what the fairs want, and then again, with our club. I mean, the fairs are our customers. I mean, again, they pay they pay a fee for us to come to an event, and they're our customers, and we have to do what they want. Something we're trying to explain to a lot of people, but the events were running a little too long, especially like we would have pulls on a Wednesday night, and they're not getting over to 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and they're in the middle of town, and and they're coming to us like, man, what can you? I'm like, I can't do any of these people home. They paid their money. We got to do it. So we've come up with a shorter program this year that should take around 3 hours. Now, once again, we've got 3 events. You guys are doing one of them. We're doing 2 of them. We couldn't. You guys' schedule. You guys already had stuff booked, or we had you for all 3. But for example, our Williamson County Fair, D&D Welding here, SI Towing, and Top Notch Auto. They threw in some money. They're like, hey, it's Friday night. We want loud, we want fast, we want to see that. We want to see the kids, we want to see everything, but what do? And we've had to come up with a fair pull running order for this year, but everyone's a run, but it's you're maybe not going to get to run twice, that kind of thing, but it's going to be more of giving the fans an opportunity to see everything, and everybody wants to see the kids pull, but then everybody wants to see the diesels. They want to see the hot rods, the V8s, the whatever. So that's something that was really hard to decide. But I just, so coming back to Anna this year for us, it should be about half the time as it was last year. So hopefully the weather cooperates and it ain't near as hot. But if it is, at least we'll hopefully only be there about half the time. So
hopefully I can make it.
That's something we've had to do.
Hopefully this year I can make it to the hotel and actually enjoy it for a little bit then.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you guys need to do the lake again.
There you go.
Yeah, that would be nice.
But no, I wish I had your all's problems as far as too many hooks, for the fair stuff and all that.
Yeah.
That's one thing up north and all that. It's just in a spell right now, I guess, but and I can't get the pullers to understand that, which I know times are rough right now, but so far this year, everything's been good.
We've had 1 pull though.
Well, yeah, the 1 pull was good. Everything else has been canceled.
Yeah.
But one thing I can't get the pullers to really understand, and some of the pullers come and that are there and they agree but then they don't come the next time, type stuff. But these promoters, and I'm not always the promoter,
Yeah.
but most of the outdoor stuff, I'm not the promoter. It's a place having me come in, but we do the classes.
Yeah.
But they're not going to keep having these pulls. So if they want local pulls, these pullers have got to show up for these pulls, or these places are gonna quit having them. I mean, it's sad. Right. They don't want.
It is, Well, we actually went through that this year with the fair. When we had you guys at last year, they loved it. They were excited. I've had so many pullers say it was one of the best tracks, one of the best events we had. And then it went to the board and they said, man, nobody came and watched. We're not doing it. We didn't make any money. And I get it, but at the same time, it was a new event. It needed some time to grow. And then,
you got to give.
And it was kind of a last minute. Yeah, and it needed some time to grow and a little more advertisement, which we would have got this year. But yeah, we were a little disappointed about that one. But I get it. If the pullers aren't coming and it's only 50 hooks, 50 hooks, and you got people there to watch, I mean, I get it. They could find something else to make some more money, so there's a lot of moving parts to it. And
I've had pulls before. It's very sad to say, but I've had 12 hooks before. That's pretty pitiful.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, there's a lot of moving parts to it. And we hope. Well, like I said, there's a lot of moving parts to it, and we hope people understand that, and everybody kind of work together, and everybody do their part, whether it's just show up to pull, or if you can help or whatever. But it takes all of us to make it happen. Everybody's got a part.
Yeah. One thing I learned with Tri-City Speedway when we did that there in Illinois, can't even remember
her name,
the town.
Oh,
Benton. No, not Benton.
Probably Granite City.
Yeah, Granite City. We when we were there or whatever, I can't remember her name though, the owner of it. We were there talking and stuff, and
just not cool.
And we were talking about this, events and all that, and she's like, Mike, you got to get to where you just don't worry about who's coming, just have it, and if the place gets to where they don't want to have it, they just won't have you no more. You can't worry about the pullers coming, or you'll worry yourself to death. So I've got more to that mindset, and it is easier, not worrying about it, and it is what it is. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
Sure.
And as long as I got the sled and it ain't eating money, it ain't eating nothing. And I get to go down to you guys a couple times, and Kansas and my indoor stuff. And I mean, if I just had the sled just for the indoor pulls, would be in a way good enough for me, because I love indoor pulls. Definitely that one in the coin. Lebanon kind of sucks just a little bit because you got to move dirt out, move dirt in, and all that. But that DeCoin was, you show up and you sing and go. And then when you're done, you just pack up and leave. Yeah, you ain't got to do nothing else. That was just amazing.
That's a really good. That pull's going to end up being one of the biggest countries. I thought we had impressive numbers for a first time. A lot of people. A lot of people were disappointed last year because of the date. Yeah. A lot of people were disappointed because of the date, and there was another big indoor pool going on. But honestly, for the first time, I was actually okay with that, because I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Now we know, and we've got a good plan, and I don't know if you want to talk about it or not, but it's going to be on a different weekend this year, so they won't conflict at all. And I could see us having 300 hooks a day at this event this year. I mean, I think it's very possible.
I mean, it is conflicting with the Waterloo, Iowa poll, but that's a different group of pullers, Okay. I mean, the ones that's going to go there is going to go there anyways, and I mean, Iowa and down south is two total different areas.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have a lot of the NQS class stuff around here. I mean, we have some guys that do it. Obviously, him and I. We've got some other local guys that do it, but I think the biggest thing is Outlaws V8s, and then just and then the regular garden tractors. It'll be spread out enough that people can make both if they wanted to, or pick the closer one, or whatever they decide to do. But I don't see a lot of I don't see as much conflict as last year. So, but again, I was kind of happy we had some conflict because it kept our numbers down enough that it was very manageable. Because it was just figuring out a new building, a new place, a new track. I mean, there was a lot going on. So, but now that we know we have two sleds, we can do it together, and do how everything works. I think it's going to be a great event. So,
I would like to get it one of these days where it's just us there. I think that would be really, really amazing. But with that building, it's just hard to do.
Right. Well, and once again, it's something people understand. I mean, if the pullers come, it's doable, but if they don't, it puts us both in the hole. And I mean, you as a business owner and us as a club, we can't afford that kind of hit. So, that's
just like, I mean, if the pullers come, not to talk bad about DuQuoin, but the place in Kansas City knocks that place in DuQuoin like out of the ballpark. I mean, that Kansas City place was amazing, but you're looking at $10,000 too.
Yeah,
the cost to rent the building.
DuQuoin was.
It takes a lot of hooks to recuperate over $10,000.
Well, and that's something I wanted to discuss too, Mike. I've heard it on the local level. People like, whoa, we got to go out there. It's the hook fees are $40 and they're $20 here. And I'm like, yeah, but
you're paying for a freaking building.
You're that hook fee's paying for all the stuff, all the equipment, everything. I mean, and and I know, Mike, I know you've done pulls before where you've barely broke even, and you still enjoy doing it, but you can't do that forever. So, it's a little more costly with the indoor stuff, but you're having to pay for a facility where summer stuff, we have to track. It costs us pretty much nothing. We pay some utilities and we've got insurance and stuff, but I mean, you're talking a few $100s per pool really to put it on, operating cost, versus several thousand to put on an indoor event, so.
I've lost.
I'm glad you brought that up. So
yes,
I think it was Lebanon, and Palmyra would have been one, but Palmyra I had enough sponsor money to take care of the hole. But if it wouldn't been for that, I'd have went about 2,000 in the hole. And then one of the pools at Lebanon, I went 1,500 in the hole. Mm-hmm. And you just can't take too many in the holes. I mean, the way I look at it is the reason I still do indoor stuff in DuQuoin, it takes care of itself. I mean, that's just the right area.
Yeah.
Everything's just right for that. Lebanon and stuff is, I mean, it's a neat place, but it's just, I don't know what it is. It's just not that place.
Out of the way.
For a lot of pullers, but one of the reasons why I still do Lebanon is my indoor stuff is more of a thank you for the pullers for supporting me through the summer, coming into my summer stuff. And I just throw these winter ones on as a thank you and give us somewhere to go.
I got you. Yeah. I personally, I really love Lebanon. I mean, it's about a 4.5 hour pushing 5, whatever drive for us. We've been there times now and we really enjoy it. But I get it. Some people aren't able to make that trip. So like you were saying, geographically, the DuQuoin thing, I mean, we got like 6 clubs within
Mhm.
an hour of there,
Yeah.
and it's all striking distance. And I think we had pullers from 7 or 8 states. I think it was crazy. And while competing with one of the biggest pools in the country, and I don't mean competing as like, a bad term. I just mean it just time wise. A lot of people were down there, and that would have probably been at our pool had it not been the same time. And I really think it's going to be an event that's going to grow, and I think it's going to end up being one of the probably I hope at sometime one of the biggest pools in the country. So I'm looking forward to it again this year. Did you want to kind of tentatively put the date out, or do you want to wait off on that, or?
I don't even know the date.
Oh, okay.
It's I think the second weekend in March, isn't it?
I think you're right. I think it's the week before the other
I think
one.
it's the 12th and 13th, maybe. Does that ring a bell?
I think you're right. I'd have to look at I don't have my calendar in front of me. Yeah, I know you gave me the date, but I know it's a long way off. So we both forgot. We're getting old. We forget.
Friday.
But it is. You're right. It's I think about the second.
Or
So.
Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, I don't even think I have it even on the Stubborn Mule, honestly.
No.
Yeah, I think he was holding off on it for a bit. So, I guess Dylan, do you got any questions to flow in there? I've got one more for him.
What do you think we all could do to improve and grow the sport? That's one of my favorites to ask everybody. Just what's something we all promote garden tractor pull where people take it a little more serious than lawnmower racing, or
We hear that one a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I honestly think it needs to be called something other than garden tractor pulling.
Like quarter scale.
I think it needs to be,
Mhm.
I think it all needs to be considered mini rods. People hear garden tractor,
Lawnmower.
that don't mean nothing to them, and I've always thought that.
Yeah.
And stuff, but as far as getting it out and about, that where nobody knows nothing about it, I think if it was called something to do with mini rods, it'd be better than garden tractors. Because they're not your ordinary garden tractor by no means. I mean,
No.
I've had guys at work. I've had guys at work come to the Perry pool before, and they always knew I'd done a sled for garden tractors and all that. And he come to the pool one day, and I didn't even know he was there. And that Monday he was at work and stuff, and he's like, Mike, he's like, I knew you did a sled and all that, but I didn't know y'all ran that stuff. He's like, that was way more than what I was expecting. My uncle back in the day when he pulled, he's the one that went to Perry with me that day. Back in the day, I mean, you pulled a garden, you pulled a lawnmower out of the fence row, threw a $20 paint job on it with a spray can, and that, I mean, you had $200 in your tractor, and that was it.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing. I mean, you can't buy nothing for $200 anymore.
No, you're right. That's how I grew up pulling. I mean, you around here, you would change to, you change to your pulling tires and take the deck off, and turn the governor up a little bit and do your thing. That was it. And then Grandpa would probably mow with it later that week, and now you got guys running 50 cubes, Pro Vs, 3-cylinder diesels, and they're making 100 to 150 horsepower, or better even probably. I mean, it's crazy. And even a 10, 12 horse stock motor is making way more than a 10 or 12 horsepower, It's nothing for a stock class 12 horse engine to have a couple grand in it, just to be competitive. And it's a whole ball game, and I don't think people understand. Some people don't understand it. That it can be that big of a investment in a hobby.
Yeah, but that's really about the only thing I think that we can do to really grow the sport. I mean,
I like that instead of thinking it's lawnmowers.
Yeah, just kind of, you know, I mean, you think about like monster trucks, you know, if you know how they're built, there's not a lot going on with them.
Yeah.
But they're called monster trucks, so everybody's attracted to it. So yeah, maybe some kind of name change would be.
Yeah, if monster trucks were called big trucks, it probably wouldn't be as a big event, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
absolutely.
I mean, terms go a long ways.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Mike, what advice do you have to pullers that pull with a stubborn mule sled? And I guess what I mean by that is, you know, every sled's different. I've figured out some tricks with your sled over the years, and I kind of know what to expect. I'm not asking you to give the secrets, but just kind of what do you what would you expect if we came to one of your events for the first time as far as hooking your sled? I mean, you mentioned before it's pretty heavy. I want to say you told me one time it was around 7,500 pounds or 85, maybe. I can't remember the number, but which is a lot for a 1,000-pound garden tractor to pull. Yeah. What's that?
It's with weighted down all the way for like the mini trucks. I'm 95, and 95, and that's running about 1,800 pounds in the box. So, but
okay.
But I've also had a lot of people pull the sled. Yes, it's heavy, but I've had a lot of people, you know, like with some of the hotter stuff, you know, hook onto me and go, and they like look back to make sure I'm there, you know, because I hear it pulls fairly easy, you know, for the takeoff and stuff.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the easiest taking off sleds I've ever hooked to. But I will tell people, that's what I tell people. You're going to take off just fine, but Mike's going to get you when he's hard. And if you ever notice me pulling, I look back because I know your sled, and I'm looking back to see where that box is at because I know it's coming. And when it comes hard.
Yeah, and I've been working on that quite a bit. I mean, running a sled is the same thing as you guys running your garden tractors. You know, you got to learn, you know, and you can only learn so much on each class, each pull, you know, so it takes pulls over pulls over pulls over pulls to get it figured out all the way. Unless I had some people come to the house and spend all day and try different conditions and change the track, make it dry, make it wet, you know. You can't do that. So it's just constant, you know, I'm the type of person that probably once you figure out the sled, there's a good chance I'm probably changing something that's going to be a little bit different anyways, you know, next time you hook to it.
Yeah.
Just because I'm always trying to get bigger or trying to get better, you know. So,
yeah,
you know, people ask me, you know, did you run the sled the same weight and stuff as last time? Probably not. You know, I said, I don't know what I done.
Right.
Mine, the way, and everybody tells me I need to write stuff down. Well, the way I do it is just gut feeling. You know, when you're at a pull, you know, the weight and where to set it, and I'm working on right now, really strong on the grouser situation, making it where I'm trying to find that really nice gray line there for the hitting of the grousers with less weight or more weight, you know, less grousers, you know, type stuff. But you know, you go run more weight, then you take the speed down, and people don't like that. So they want you to run less weight and let the grousers do the job. And then some people don't want the grousers. They'd rather have a steady pull. So it's just kind of one of those things, you know. Me personally, I like drag racing. You know, the stock classes, they're about the only ones that really honestly pull anymore. Everybody else is just drag racing. I mean, it's a bam, bam, and grousers hit you, and whoever has the most momentum gets it. You know.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes
But no,
sense.
I've had a lot of. I can't say I've had a lot, but that's one of the complaints that I've heard is when I stop you, I stop you. You know, when the mule says ho, he means ho. You know, but
it means
and I'm working on that to make it easier on everybody's stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not as big. It's not that big of a deal on the hotter stuff like the V8s and the mini trucks and all that, because they're so big and stuff. Anyways, I mean, once the grousers hit, they're still dragging another 50 foot, 50 or 100 foot, once the grousers hit, but the smaller tractors, I have been, and y'all haven't hooked to me since the coin and stuff, but I've been using like really, really loud grousers lately, and so far everybody's been liking it pretty nice. So I think I'm getting it figured out.
Okay.
4 years down the road.
You said you like to switch. Just took 4 years. You said you like to switch stuff up. I know I've hooked to you with the same tractor twice in the night, and I remember out of Lebanon, one hook burying the tractor in the sand pile and going, oh man, that's awesome. And then I run the same gear, same setup the next class, and you've got me 75 foot earlier, and I'm like, what happened? Like, just a change of something, but you definitely mix it up.
Just the dolly wheels. It don't seem much, but I got a graph or a measuring stick or whatever you want to call it inside the sled where I can move this lever, and that's what causes the dolly wheels to come up, and then once it hits that switch, it stops them. So and just moving those dolly wheels just an eighth of an inch makes a world of difference. And I got 6 inches right there to move those dolly wheels. So there's a lot of fine tuning.
That's crazy.
That can be on that. So
Dylan, you got anything else?
You got
Okay. No, Jen, we're gonna wrap up with you guys. Do you guys want to talk about some of your upcoming events or anything you got going on? And feel free to share them on the page. We'll try to cross share them as we can, and try to get you guys some more pullers. And you guys, I'm telling you right now, I've pulled with these guys for a few years, and I love the sled. The events are good, and go out and support them. Make sure you try them out. It's not a, it's not a bad deal. So go out and do it, and like Mike was talking about, if we want it to grow and want it to stay around, we got to go. So
yeah. Well, I just got Licking coming up this weekend. Then next weekend's Skidmore and Trenton.
And then Lawrence in August.
Then the Lawrence, Kansas pulls August 14th and 15th. Then the state fair. Then I'll be in Anna with you guys.
Okay.
Then Shelby on the 29th, and the Billings pull. It's going to be a pretty good size pull. Perry, this with what I'm hearing, anyways, we'll see what happens when it comes down because it's in the blood. But they say this is going to be the last year for Perry. And that's a really big pull.
It's a memorial pull.
Yeah.
His
and
sister
I really hate seeing it go bye-bye.
They do a scholarship for.
But this is the 25th year for it, and they're just getting kind of burnt out of it. They've
it's a lot of work, as we all know. And their poll is 2 sessions, and it starts 8 o'clock in the morning. But of course, you know how many hours before the poll you have to wake up to prep in days, and then they have a second session, and that one sometimes isn't over till 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's a long day.
Well, it's been 12 lately, but
has it?
But yeah, it has been, a long time. I remember coming home from that poll one day, and I I was going down the blacktop and it was constant. I mean, not just, I heard, because I went all the way from one side to the center, all the way to the other side of the road going home. It was, I was even like that on the gravel. And normally when I get on gravel, I'm fine, but I was even from ditch to ditch on the gravel, even getting home because I was out of it.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions for us?
No, I don't have nothing. No, just thank you for what you're doing.
You guys got anything?
This is one other way of getting the garden tractors or mini rods, where you want to call it, out and about too, is what you're doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've learned a lot and met a lot of good people doing this, and we try to, bring in our local friends and you guys doing this. That's what I've really enjoyed, is I've met people all over the country, but I still keep it with, my at-home people too. I think it mixes it up well. You guys got any thank yous you want to give anybody?
No, not really. Just thank you all for allowing us to be on here.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys have suggestions for future guests?
I wasn't going to volunteer, but I've been waiting for you to ask.
Yeah.
He told me last week, he said, well, somehow I got volunteered to do this now, because Sam's doing school, and he was like, you got to do it with me. And I'm like, all right, fine. And I guess now it's turning into a thing.
Well, last week I was out of town working, and I was like, just handle it and let me know when and where to be. I'm busy. So
I was like, well, I want to hear from Mike and Jen from the sled side. So I told him, and he's like, all right, good, handle it. So I was like, all right, well, here we go. So.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate y'all and your support.
Well, thank
100%.
Well, we appreciate you guys too, and thanks for being on. And we look forward to some good pulls here this year. Well, I think we got 2 or 3 with you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys again. And we always have a good time, and we become good friends too along the way. And with that said, good night to you guys, and
we'll let you guys go. I got a couple other things whenever you guys are gone. So you guys have a good evening.
Okay. All right. You
Thank
too.
you.
Thanks.
see you guys.
Bye.
All right. Oh, good grief. See, I need a new computer. Okay.
Or a tech guy.
All right. No. All right. So I just want to reiterate a little bit of what I was talking about at the very beginning. As you can see, my computer's a little bit funky. I've got a new one, a little over $1,000. Trying to get away from the peasant equipment here. So if anyone is willing to help, I'm going to post stuff. I'm by no means asking for a handout here, but and I hate doing this, but also the amount of people that come up and say they love it, like, help me help you guys. Help me keep it going here.
We don't get anything out of it.
Yeah, I don't get nothing out of it. I get to meet cool people and have good conversations.
And let us know how the new camera worked, if it worked all right, because that was donated today. So
yeah, we're trying that out, and
it seems I thought it did good, but just let us know what it looked like on you guys then.
Another thing is this new setup that I'm working with to do the live. I think I have figured out a way that we can do some editing and do a cool intro and stuff. I actually talked to Eddie Martinez a little bit. I'm going to talk to him some more about getting us some cool music to go with it, and maybe edit it, some of us pulling for that. So if anyone's good at editing videos and would want to do something like that, reach out, because that'd be a big help and just kind of make it a little cooler for all of us. I'd like it to keep progressing and be a little more professional. I work a lot, Corey works a lot, so we don't have time necessarily, but let's all keep making this thing pretty cool. I had a couple fan questions. It was actually kind of for me and you.
Oh, okay.
It's from
Oh, Lord.
Well, no, it's nothing bad. So it was particularly from a new guy
Okay.
in our club, and he wanted to know what class is the most fun. What do we think is the most fun? It's just kind of an opinion thing for us.
Okay.
I'll let you go first.
Man, it's hard. It's hard to really put a favorite on one because I've pulled several of them. My new favorite is the open class. I've got a 8,000 RPM twin now, and I like that class because it's kind of a just anything goes. Everybody that's in we're just having fun.
There's diesels, Pro Vs,
Yeah,
50s.
3-cylinder diesels, 50s, Pro Vs, you name it, it's in there. I mean, there's even stock guys pulling the class. I think it's kind of cool because it's a anything goes. Run what you brought kind of deal. I think that's kind of fun. Our 16 open class is huge. I think it's very competitive, and I think it's fun. I think my thing is it don't really matter to the class. I think it's the people in the class, and I think the classes. I run a stock twin as well, and again, that's a class that all the people in it are cool and competitive, and we give each other crap, and it's just. And I don't care if we don't care if we win or if we give. It's nice to win, but we don't care. It's not as serious. So for me, it's more the people classes, the more fun people classes, and not necessarily as.
Andy finally noticed the Sasquatch and coon in the background.
We've been trying to get you for like 3 episodes, dude, to see that thing.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
But for me, it's more about the classes that are fun. I don't care if I win or lose. That kind of thing. That's just me. So.
I can't pinpoint that myself. I get a lot of fun. Actually, I had this conversation today with somebody. In the summertime, I really enjoy just going, and I love running the roller tractor. I like working the track. I like being there.
I like running the sled.
Yeah, I like just being there in the summer. But as far as classes go, I really, really enjoy watching my nephew Huey pull.
He pulls the Pee Wee, the 10 horse kids, little kids class.
Pulls the kid class, and he pulls the 10 horse. And I've won. I've done decent different places, but this last pull is probably the most rewarding for me because I put Huey on his 10 horse, and he got his first win. I mentioned that earlier in the pull or in the podcast here, but that was very, very rewarding. He got a 4th place, I think, the last one, got his first trophy. And I don't care, whenever I win, we pick at each other and go on about our business. But you would have thought that kid won a Grand National pull, and then I mentioned I let Caleb run my Alice, and he beat Corey out of the belt, and everyone was walking by, Caleb bowing down to him, and he's a real bashful kid anyway, and he was the king for the day, and nothing made me happier than seeing him smile and taking that in through the day. So, and Sam's got wins and done really good pulling her tractors. So, really for me, the kids 10 horse class is the most fun, and the 16 horse class is fun, and the 12 horse class is fun. I just get enjoyment out of it in that way. Now, whenever I'm pulling, I love the 16 horse class because I love picking at Mike Caswinkle and Randy Bell. Kind of what Corey said, our 16 horse class is very tight.
We had 16 last time, 16 horses. So.
And everyone that pull, the people are really tight and good friends, but good competitors too. That makes it really
good
fun.
Losers,
good losers,
good winners.
Yeah, all of it, And I mentioned Caleb won, but I think your tractor didn't run that good hook, and then Mike's didn't.
Yeah.
And sure, we beat out a bunch of other really good tractors, but I wish Corey's and Mike's would have been tip top. And that's another thing about the class is I wanted to beat them fair and square, not because I had problems. the people there are a lot of fun. Of course, I like the mini rods too. I just like pulling, guys. Really, that's the answer to my question. I just like pulling.
Yeah. They're all fun in their own way.
Yes. That's a hard one to pinpoint.
Yeah.
What class would you think's growing the fastest in our club?
We have a few that are really taking off. The V8s, it started with just a couple guys, and now I think somebody I talked to the other day, they said we were going to have 13 or 14 local. That's just local. That's not counting the guys that come in. So I mean, that's I tripled or quadrupled in the last few years. So that's pretty awesome. You're seeing a lot, and a lot of those guys have moved up. You've got Robert Meyer's son, Gage. He's went from running a single cylinder and a stock twin to running a V8 now, and my son's age 14 years old, I think. So and he's great. He's doing great. So that's cool to see that growth. The sealed predator class has grown.
Yes.
We tried it. They do it a little bit up north. We kind of packed up with those guys and honored each other's sealing rules and things. They just started it in Missouri now. So that's something that's growing because it's a very affordable class to get into, just because you don't have all the money in the motor. It's a buy it once and done thing, and you build your tractor around it, obviously. But that one's growing a lot. And then the 16 class. I mean, when I first started, I don't know, I had a weird thing for 16, and I would go to Kentucky. I'd go to some other places and pull, and there'd be like 2 or 3 of us, and then at home there'd be 2 or 3 16s. The rest would be 12s jumped in the class with us. And now, I mean, like I said, last pull, we had 16 horses in the class. And I mean, and they're all built and running good and everything. That's one that I've seen grow. And then just the kids class. I mean, in general, I mean,
that one's always growing.
We've got 20 to 30 kids at all times. And I mean, it's awesome to see them. I mean, it's just every time I turn around, somebody else is getting into it. And actually the person that asked this question, and we love seeing it grow. I mean, it's just kind of different strokes for different folks. I mean, whatever you want to run, whatever you want to spend, there's a price to all of it. But, I think honestly, all the classes are growing is the right answer. But those are some ones that stood out in my mind that I've personally seen the big jump in,
We had a question on our comments here. Fun Run Pulling Videos asked. He asked, what horsepower is the sealed predator class? So what we're doing with that one is the 22 horse, I believe it is.
They're about 22.
Yeah, the V twin class.
670 cc.
Yeah, that's the one we've been doing. It's going over well. There's actually been a few people approach me about, like, I think it's like a 14 and a half horse that Predator offers. I've been approached about that one before. At this time, I don't know that we really want to do it because we still got a whole mess of 12s, but I could see the future of pulling going towards something like that because, K-Series are going to run out eventually, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I could see that being a fun class. Just right now, we've got so much growth in our club, we're not really considering many new classes.
Yeah.
But that one's been really cool. Me and a couple other guys in our club did the teching on them, and the Missouri club got with us, and that helped that club or that class a lot because those guys will cross the river with us, and we'll cross the river.
We're literally less than an hour apart. So,
and we honor everybody. Andy, we're allowing 26 12 pro tires in that class. It was kicked around a little bit in the beginning of doing just a 23 or just a 26 bar tire and allowing them to be cut. But the reason we didn't do that was because we're allowing our guys that are in the sealed predators to jump up to like our stock twin class. And our stock twin class,
and those guys can hang.
They can.
It's impressive. Some of them
Some
tractors
whoop 'em.
are set up very well. They beat built They built Kohlers.
Yeah, Mickey Brown's.
Me.
Yeah.
But
But
I forget to turn my fuel pump on all the time. So
I've heard that.
it's
So-
153 foot, Andy. If you were wondering, that's what my motor will run on no fuel.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So
Twice proven.
anyway, we kind of went back and forth on tires on that because I kind of wanted to keep it a poor boys class basically, but then we were like, well, we don't want to have guys have to swap tires to, if they wanted to run that.
Or feel like they couldn't.
Yeah, or feel like they couldn't hang because they didn't have pro tires or whatever the situation was. So it was trying to accommodate them where they could hit two different classes.
And around here, I don't know where it is, a lot of other places, but bar tires are getting real hard to find. And you can almost buy pro tires for what you can buy a set of good bar tires. So there's kind of that argument too. That's something that's came up from several people. But but ultimately what Dylan said is why we did it, just so they could play in two. We try to set everything up in our class or our club where you have two classes to run in. So, and
it's not two classes that you can flat whoop butt in. Like one's normally one you got a good chance of winning. The other one you can step up and on a good day you can do good, but you're kind of undergunned. Like for me running a 16 horse, I could jump to the 16 open, and if there's a true open in there, they're probably gonna whoop my butt. So that's kind of our rule of thumb with a lot of things.
But a true open could jump up to a stock altar. I mean, it goes all the different ways.
Mm-hmm. So another question was which class would you not build a tractor for? I have my opinions.
Ooh. Me, anything with one cylinder, never again. I'm done with that. Stacy's 16 Open's the last one I've got, and never again. I'm 100% twins from now on. Now Dylan's answer will be the exact opposite, I bet.
That is correct. Actually,
tell him about tell him about the late night run to AutoZone for helicoils.
We'll talk about that in a second. Actually, you guys, I have breaking news. I would absolutely be happy with a twin. If somebody would get me one of Andy's motors, and all I had to do is bolt it in the chassis and didn't have to freaking work on it.
You've been begging a lot tonight.
I know. He's got, by the way, this is not sponsored by Beckwith Performance, but he has
could be though.
It could be, but he has a very nice one for sale right now for like $4,200, I think.
Somebody's dumb not to buy that.
Yeah, that is a nice piece, and but that's the only way I'll do a freaking twin is if I can get one of his motors and bolt right on. I ain't freaking working on them stupid things. And if I do, I'm going to name it. The name of it will be 31 inch pounds. Corey, you want to tell our viewers the story behind that?
So he asked me, he says, hey, come help me put this motor together for someone. I was like, all right, yeah, no problem. And I said, well, what are we doing? I was like, because I'm not really that good at it. He goes, I just need you to stand there and not let me throw things. And I said, okay. So we get there and we're putting it together and we're both jumping in, we're doing things. And it's all great. And what were you torquing down?
I was torquing down
some on the head.
I was torquing down the rockers, and I had a very, very, very nice digital snap-on torque wrench. So it wasn't like
a $300 torque wrench.
Probably more than that.
Yeah, probably more. Yeah.
Very nice snap-on torque wrench, and it was the real nice
warning lights and everything.
Yeah. And the words had just come out of my mouth. I promise you, folks. I looked at Corey. I'm like, these aren't too bad to work on. I don't mind them. I wouldn't mind having one. And I went torquing down on that bolt, and I looked at him. And for you people that are listening only, you're not going to get the full effect. But my face went blank. I was torquing, and I'm like, Corey, this ain't so bad. These are pretty easy to work on. And it went very loose. And I looked at him, and he goes, what? I said, 31 inch pounds. I just stripped that freaking bolt.
It looked like a kid that had like an ice cream cone, and then all the ice cream fell out. And he was just like, oh.
Yes.
So it was about, 7:30 at night?
Yeah.
So luckily Stacy was there, and we're not even going to talk about calling AutoZone. That's a whole nother story. But we found a helicoil and got it done that night. But yeah, Dylan was not happy. He
I
went
was not.
right back to I'm a single cylinder.
Yeah, you guys about had me. You really did, but not yet. But anyway, there's that. I don't guess I have anything else. We just had a couple fan questions.
Oh, I remember one that didn't get answered. It said, "Who was the better driver, me or you?" And I'm like, I don't know. We never pull against each other, really. Like,
no. And in the vehicle, I feel safe with you. I mean, I'm not my dad, so we should be.
I know who we won't ride with.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and I rode with you. It's fine. So yeah, I don't know. We don't really have an answer because we don't pull the same classes, really. So I guess that's to be determined.
Yeah. I believe if everything goes well, our next guest will be Rob that does all of our live streams for the NQS pool. So I'm really looking forward to that one, getting his perspective. Yep. So, those that are watching, listening, whatever, have some questions in mind for Rob. I'm sure that'll be a very good one. And if anyone wants any shout stuff like that, we'll be glad to do that. And if you guys want to help out with the laptop situation and remain anonymous, that's fine. If you guys want to shout out your businesses, that's fine. Whatever. Russ Meisel, has he agreed on what?
Has he been on?
Yeah, Russ Meisel's been on. We could have him again. We might.
Oh yeah. Never mind.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
All
right, folks. Well,
I kind of want to be on and give him some crap. But...
I think we could have him on.
Get him
again.
on again. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think Wesley's want to be on again too.
Okay. Good.
So, yeah. All right, folks. Night.